Hi everyone, my name is Joseph, and I work offshore on an oil platform as part of the safety team. Today I want to teach you some very important English vocabulary that we use during an emergency drill. If you work offshore, or you want to work offshore one day, this lesson is going to help you a lot. Let's start with the moment the alarm goes off, because that is when everything begins on the platform. You will usually hear an announcement like this. This is a drill, I repeat. This is only a drill. Notice how the announcer repeats the sentence. This is done on purpose to avoid any confusion. The words general alarm are used to describe the main alarm system that covers the whole platform. After the alarm, the next instruction you will always hear is to proceed to your muster station. A muster station is simply the safe meeting point where all crew members gather during an emergency. Let's practice that phrase together, slowly. Proceed to your muster station immediately. Notice the word immediately. This word shows urgency, so you should move quickly. Not run, but move fast. Now let's talk about safety equipment, because this vocabulary is used every single day offshore. PPE means personal protective equipment, and it includes your life jacket and your hard hat. You might hear someone say, "Please bring your life jacket and your hard hat with you right now." Another very common instruction is, do not use the elevators. Please take the stairs instead. This rule exists because elevators can stop working during a real fire, so stairs are always safer. The word evacuation means leaving a dangerous area quickly in order to reach a safe place. You will often hear, please follow the marked evacuation route to your muster station now. Let's repeat this together. Please follow the marked evacuation route to your muster station. Now let's talk about head count, which is one of the most important words in offshore safety. Head count means counting everyone, to make sure that no one is missing during the emergency. A supervisor might say, please conduct a head count as soon as your team arrives at the station. If someone is missing, you say, we have 2 crew members unaccounted for at this moment. The expression unaccounted for means that a person cannot be located or found right now. Once everyone is found safely, you can say, all crew members are now accounted for, thank you. Let's compare these 2 expressions again. Unaccounted for and accounted for, they are almost opposite. This vocabulary is used constantly by safety officers, so please practice it many times. Now let's move to the lifeboat, because this is where the drill usually continues next. The person who operates the lifeboat is called the coxswain. This word is very specific to ships. You might hear the coxswain will explain the boarding sequence before everyone gets on board. The word boarding simply means the act of entering the lifeboat in an organized way. Another key instruction is, please fasten your harness immediately after boarding the lifeboat. The harness is the safety strap system that keeps you secured inside your seat on the lifeboat. You will also notice a sign that says, maximum capacity 60 persons on many lifeboats. The word capacity means the maximum number of people that something is allowed to hold safely. Let's practice this sentence. This lifeboat has a maximum capacity of 60 persons on board. Now let's talk about radio communication, because clear communication saves lives offshore. A typical radio call sounds like this. Control room, this is Lifeboat 1. Please respond. Notice how the speaker always says who is calling first, and then who they are calling. The response is usually, control room acknowledges, please continue with your message now. The word acknowledges means that the message was received and clearly understood by the other person. Another useful phrase is, simulated boarding complete, 60 persons accounted for, over. The word simulated means practiced or pretend. It is not describing a real emergency situation. Let's repeat this together. Control room, this is Lifeboat 1. Simulated boarding complete. Now let's talk about hazards, because reporting problems quickly is a critical offshore skill. The word hazard means anything that could possibly cause harm, injury, or damage to someone. You could say, please report any safety hazard immediately through the proper channel. The expression proper channel means the correct official way to pass along important information. Another important word is audibility. which means how clearly and easily a sound can be heard. For example, we had a problem with alarm audibility because the kitchen was too noisy that day. We also use the word corrective, as in corrective action, which means fixing a problem that was found. You could say maintenance will take corrective action before the end of this week, as planned. Let's practice together. We need to take corrective action immediately to keep everyone safe. Finally, let's talk about the debrief, which happens right after the emergency drill ends. The debrief is a meeting where the entire team reviews exactly what happened during the exercise. A safety officer might say, "Let's begin the final debrief for today's emergency drill exercise." You might hear, "Our total response time was 6 minutes and 40 seconds today." Very good. The expression response time means how long it took the crew to complete the entire drill. Another useful sentence is, "This represents a clear improvement compared to last month's result." The word improvement simply means that something became better than it was before. You might also hear, "Overall, I am very satisfied with the crew's discipline today." The word discipline in this context means following the rules and procedures correctly every time. Let's practice this last sentence together. Overall, I am satisfied with the crew's discipline today. All right, let's quickly review everything we learned together in today's Offshore English lesson. We learned general alarm, muster station, head count, unaccounted for, and accounted for. We also learned coxswain, boarding, harness, and maximum capacity, all lifeboat vocabulary. We practiced radio communication words like acknowledges, simulated, and control room. We discussed hazard, proper channel, audibility, and corrective action, very important expressions. And finally, we learned debrief, response time, improvement, and discipline. Closing vocabulary. If you memorize and practice these words, you will sound confident and professional offshore. My name is Joseph. Thank you for learning with me today, and I will see you in the next English lesson. If you enjoyed this lesson and you want to keep improving your offshore English, please subscribe to the channel right now. The channel is called Real Talk Stories, and every week we bring new lessons just like this one, focused on real offshore situations. Make sure you turn on the notification bell too, so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have many more topics coming soon, covering different real situations you will face working offshore. Again, my name is Joseph. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Real Talk Stories, and I will see you in the next video.